Hi guys, Jen here with How Jen Does It. Today I'm sharing some of my favorite fall recipes. The first recipe is for pumpkin maple pecan granola. This recipe is actually from the minimalistbaker.com. I will link it in the description box so you can go there to get the exact measurements. I want to make sure to give her credit. The other recipes are my own. This granola is awesome. It's so good. I have made my own granola for years and I've shared my recipe, but I wanted something a little more fall-like with pumpkin, and I found this recipe and it's so good. It has the perfect amount of sweetness without it being too sweet. It has a lot of crunch from the nuts and seeds, and it is really good. So I wanted to share this recipe with you. So you're just going to mix the oats, pecans, pepitas, sugar, salt, pumpkin spice in a large bowl, and then you're going to heat coconut oil. You can use olive oil, maple syrup, and pumpkin puree, and then you're mix that into the dry ingredients and spread it out on a baking sheet and let it bake at 340 degrees for about 25 minutes or until it's nice and golden brown. I like my granola to be a little bit crunchier and in bigger pieces, so I didn't break mine up while it was baking it all, but you can if you want to, and then it will harden a little bit when you take it out of the oven. And here it is complete. I like to serve my granola with almond milk, or you can have it with yogurt or as a snack, however you like to eat granola, but it is really good and definitely a must-try recipe. Next, I wanted to show you how to make my autumn salad with maple dressing. We're also going to roast some walnuts with honey and cinnamon, which makes it extra delicious. This salad is definitely a fall favorite. Every time I bring it to someone's house or an event, I get asked for the recipe and it's just delicious. So for the salad, you will need a mix of baby greens and baby spinach. I usually get the 50-50 blend, but really any greens that you have will work just fine. And I use about 5 cups of greens or so. I don't really measure. And then you'll need some apples. You can use one type of apple. I like to get a red apple and a golden delicious apple just to make it look pretty. You'll also need goat cheese. I'll show you how to make the maple dressing, and I'll also show you how to make the walnuts. The walnuts are really simple. You'll need 1 cup of raw walnut halves. I honestly just buy the halves in pieces because at my stores, they're $1 cheaper and it's okay if there are a couple of pieces and they're not all perfect halves, right? And then you'll need about a teaspoon of cinnamon and about 1/4 cup of honey and a pinch of salt. You'll want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Once you've mixed everything together, you'll want to line a baking sheet with parchment paper to make cleanup easy, and then you'll spread your walnuts out in a single layer and bake them for about 12 minutes. They are going to get a little brown from the cinnamon and honey, but 12 minutes should be good, and that way they won't burn. The maple dressing is very easy. You'll need about 1/3 cup of olive oil, about 1/8 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1/3 cup of maple syrup, and about a teaspoon of cinnamon. You'll just whisk all of that together. Now it is time to assemble the salad. I just fill my salad bowl with the greens and add everything but the dressing. I like to wait to add the dressing until I'm ready to serve it, just so that the greens stay nice and fresh and don't get mushy. And I'm sure most of you know this, but you can dip your apples in lemon juice and that will help them to look nice and pretty and they won't get brown. This salad is delicious. Definitely let me know if you give it a try, and this is what it looks like with the dressing on it. Chili is always a fall favorite, and this taco chili just takes it to a different level. It is really good, and the garnishes make it even better. So I wanted to share how to make it because it's really easy but delicious. So you will need 1 pound of ground beef, 1 large chopped onion, 3 cans of chili beans, 1 can of corn. I usually use frozen corn, so I usually use about 1.5 cups of frozen corn. You'll need a can of tomato sauce, a 15-ounce can. You'll need a can of diced tomatoes and a can of green chilies. You don't need to drain anything, and I'll have the recipe in the description box too. And then you'll either need an envelope of taco seasoning, or if you like to make your own, about 1/3 cup of taco seasoning. I usually make my own. And then you'll also need an envelope of ranch dressing, or if you like to make your own, about 1/3 cup. And I made my own, so I'll put the recipe for that in the description box below. It's super easy. And then you'll need 1.5 cups of water. You'll go ahead and brown your ground beef and onion and drain that. And then you literally add everything to the slow cooker. I usually cook it on high for about 4 hours or so, or you could cook it on low for 8 hours. So yummy. I'm going to link the exact slow cooker that I have in the description box, and I'll link different things that I'm using throughout the video because I always get asked, and there are like a million different kinds of slow cookers. So I'll link the exact one so you can check the description box. To serve the taco chili, we like to have it with tortilla chips, some shredded Colby Jack cheese, sour cream, cilantro, and chopped jalapeno pepper. This makes it so delicious. It has so much flavor, and the crunch from the tortilla chips just makes it so good. Next we have pumpkin chocolate chip muffins. I shared this recipe when I first started YouTube, so some of you may already have this recipe, but I wanted to share it again because recipes from years ago get lost on my channel. So this is a really good fall recipe, and it makes 3 dozen muffins, so lots of them to share if you want to share. Okay, for the muffins, you'll need 4 eggs, 2 cups of sugar, 1 16-ounce can of pumpkin puree, 1.5 cups of oil, 3 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 cups of chocolate chips. And I'll have the recipe in the description box below for you. So you're going to beat the eggs, sugar, pumpkin, and oil. In a separate bowl, you'll combine the dry ingredients. Then you'll add your dry mixture to the pumpkin mixture and mix well, and then fold in your chocolate chips. You can use muffin papers if you want to make it easy, or you can just spray the muffin tin with a little bit of olive oil or cooking spray. But you'll fill those about 3/4 full. I like to use an ice cream scoop. It makes it so easy, and it's the perfect amount. And then you'll bake at 400 degrees for 16 to 20 minutes. Your house will smell amazing if you bake these muffins. I was baking these muffins and made the granola in the same day, and John walked in and he was like, "Oh, it smells so good in here." These muffins are his favorite, so you definitely need to try them if you haven't already. And if you do try any of these recipes and you're on Instagram, be sure to take a picture and tag me at HowJenDoesIt. And just a quick plug, I do share a bit more of my life on Instagram, so you can see a little bit more behind the scenes if you would like to. So I always have a link in my description box, so you can find me there, and I'd love to see you over on Instagram. I hope you enjoyed this video and give these recipes a try. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day.